We are learning new information about the 20-year-old who attempted to assassinate then presidential candidate Donald Trump at a rally in Pennsylvania last year. Documents show Thomas Matthew Crooks ordered materials to make a bomb, but at the same time, emails show he was still working on applications to transfer out of community college. At the July rally in Butler, Crooks' gunfire struck Trump's ear and killed a rally-goer. CBS News investigative reporter Graham Cates has the details. So, Graham, what do we know about efforts to produce a bomb? Do we know if he planned on using it?
We've known for a while that some improvised explosive devices were discovered while investigators were looking into the attempted assassination. But now we've seen that he ordered nitromethane, which is one of the materials that the FBI had identified as among his explosive materials, as early as January 2024. That's 6 months or so before the attack. And what we don't have yet is what his plans were exactly for the explosives, how long, even before that, maybe, that he had been working on the design of these. But it shows that, like you said, even as he was still being a student, still thinking about his future, he was ordering 2+ gallons of a material called nitromethane.
I mean, he was applying to an engineering program all while this was happening. What else do we learn about him and his mindset ahead of this?
Yeah, that's really the fascinating thing. There's sort of two divergent things happening in Thomas Matthew Crooks's life in early 2024. He's working really hard at school and on his applications to 4-year engineering programs. This was a kid who had gotten a 1530 on the SATs. He had told advisors he had attended community college to save money with the expectation of going on to a 4-year engineering program. He had made plans to proofread his personal statement for one of his applications with friends just days after he was ordering these explosive materials. And so there's one version of his life that goes on to a 4-year college and has a future. And then there's this entirely other version of his life that ends the way it did in this attack that he must have known would result in either prison or his own death.
Did you learn anything else that gives you a better sense of potential motive?
You know, the motives are still hard to nail down. I think we really only scratched the surface. We got access to a lot of his emails sent from his community college server, as well as many of the essays that he submitted as a student. There are some hints of sort of a deep skepticism of the federal government and corporations and some of the responses that he gave in the class prompts. But there was also this deeply thoughtful student. Professors raved about this chessboard that he designed and 3D printed for the visually impaired, talking about how thoughtful the design was and how much work he was putting into his studies, helping other students. And so we really don't know what it was that triggered him to choose the path that ended with his death, as opposed to the other one that he was working so hard on.
Graham Cates, thank you.
Thank you.